You good? All right. All right. We would like to welcome Viktor Hovland to the Fedex St. Jude Championship Media Center. Victor, you're entering the week at number 57 in the Fedex Cup standings, making your 5th consecutive playoffs appearance. Overall thoughts on this season as you head into this week?
Yeah, it hasn't been my best year. Had struggled for basically the whole year, so it's been a little bit challenging, but I feel like I'm headed in the right direction, and just kind of pumped about that. Just seeing some improvements in practice, and hopefully that will translate into this week, because I do need a nice week this week, and hopefully get some momentum for the next couple of weeks.
You've captured a couple top 25s here at TPC Southwind. Have you had a chance to play the course yet? What are your thoughts on the golf course?
Played like 6 holes yesterday on the back 9. Did 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 17, 18. Yeah, it's my 5th time here, and absolutely love the golf course. I think this is one of my favorite courses that we play all year. Still haven't played all that great here yet, but just gonna keep working on my things, and hopefully this will be a better week.
Awesome. We'll open it up to questions. Right here with Bob.
You had a decent weekend in Paris the last 2 rounds, and wonder if that gives you any confidence or momentum at all. If you found a little something there, or that you've been able to work on in the short time since.
Yeah, not really. That was kind of just a weekend where I just made a few putts. I missed on the right sides, and I was able to score well. The first couple of rounds, I about hit it the same. But that golf course is very penal off the tee and into the greens. It really penalizes the bad shots. But if you're playing well, you can shoot low. I just missed it in the wrong spots because I didn't have that much control over the ball flight. So the second round, I was just at mercy of the randomness of where my ball was going. And then over the weekend, I made a lot of putts, and was able to score well. And that's always nice, but the quality of the shots were not there. So I was still a little upset with that. But I've been here in the States for a week, and spent some good time with Joe, and I feel like we're on the right track. So that's kind of that's where I feel like at least the optimism is coming from, just getting finally a good week to just practice every day and get into a nice rhythm.
Go right here in the middle.
Yeah, a couple of things. I remember you talking, even going back to API, talking about the quality of shots. Is that where you draw your confidence and really, I guess, a feeling that you're going to play well?
Yeah, I mean, this game is tough, and obviously I think we can easily get into a habit of trying to be too perfect, because you don't have to play perfect golf to play well. But if you're looking a certain way and the ball is not doing what you're visualizing, yes, you can make a birdie, you can hit the ball close, but that's not a great indicator that you're going to do that day in, day out. So when I'm in practice, seeing that the ball flight is corresponding better with what I'm visualizing, that gives me more confidence. And yes, I still might go out here and shoot a bad score, but I'm not going to be that upset about it, because I know that the processes or the shot making itself is getting closer to where I want it to, and then my likelihood of playing better goes up as well. So
you're the defending champion of the Fedex Cup. Does this week feel like the start of that title defense? Or what does it feel like?
Yeah, you could say that. Although I had a really nice weekend here last year, and if it wasn't for the 18th hole, I might have had a really good chance to win this one as well last year. So that was cool. I love this place, and I have some good memories here. But I try not to think about my FedEx rank or all that stuff so much this week. I've obviously been vocal about me not playing very well this year, so that's kind of what I'm focusing on, just trying to get the horse back on the track and work on the things that I need to work on to play good golf, and then all the other stuff that we'll see. That'll work out if I take care of that stuff.
Mate, you mentioned the weekend here last year. I'll take you back to either it was today or tomorrow maybe here last year. You having a session on that range that looked like really intense, terrible even. You looked upset, frustrated. It was shocking. And I told everybody then, I said, oh, no good, stay off Hov. And you had a bad first round, but from that point on, you went and blitzed the place.
Yep.
Is there anything from that that you could recreate and maybe do the same thing?
I've had so many of those range sessions the last year, it's hard to remember them. But no, I mean, it's, you know, we all play bad golf sometimes and we get frustrated, and hopefully you can keep it still something to learn from when you're there, or else you're just wasting your time. But I feel like we just kind of had to air everything out and really talk about, okay, why was that a bad shot? And sometimes you need to hit those moments to actually learn something and actually take action in a different direction. And yeah, Joe just gave me a really good feel. And then when I try to recreate that feel on the range, I saw some improvement. And then that gave me the confidence that, okay, when I go out there tomorrow, I think I know where the ball is going and I can control it. And then as soon as I just saw a couple of good shots, that gives you that belief and you just run with it. And then I started chipping in, I started making putts, and then, you know, that's a game of golf for you.
And just quietly, do you like being an underdog? Obviously this year you are an underdog, whereas last year you sort of were right up there, obviously.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I've been an underdog in some way my whole life, so I guess I'm kind of used to that position, but it's not something that I think about too much. I'm just trying to control the things that I can control. I know that I've slipped up a little bit this year. I haven't been playing as well as I would have liked, and I'm just working on the things that I need to work on to get back to where I was last year. And then I believe I can do some great things again. But we need to take care of that stuff.
Go up here to Sean.
A little different topic. Andrew Green said that you two have gotten to know each other a little bit, as he does Karsten Creek.
Yep.
What have you seen and how he goes about his process, and what do you maybe appreciate about what he does?
Yeah, I've always been super interested in course design. So to actually spend some time with a well-established course architect, it's really fun for me. And I think he values listening to good players like myself, and I know Ricky's been involved a little bit, and the golf team at Oklahoma State, the coaches. There's so many people involved, and I got to give him credit for that, because when you're hired to do a job, it's easy to say, okay, I'm the expert here, so you guys just sit over there and I'll do my thing. But he's building that golf course for the golf team. So it's been a very good relationship where there's a dialogue, and he's asking, what do you guys want to see? What kind of shots do you guys want? And man, it's been a while since I've been to Karsten and seen it, but last time I was there, it looks completely different. It looks like it kind of has that major championship golf course vibe. It's a big golf course, big time golf course. It's going to be really hard. But I like the way he thinks, and I'm super excited to go on and play it next time.
Have you seen any photos of what he's done at Eastlake, and what do you think him getting his hand on that could make it look like?
Yeah, I have not seen anything, and that's where, you know, I love Eastlake, so I don't know how much you can do to that place to make it better. So it's almost like there's a bigger chance to make it worse. I hope that's not the case, and I know Andrew's a very smart guy, and I'm sure he's going to do a great job. But there is a danger there when you've already got an elite golf course that's been around for many, many years, and every time we go, there's still a great golf course, like I believe this one is as well. You don't have to trick it up anymore. You don't have to make it longer. It's just a good golf course. So it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully I make it there in a couple weeks.
Over here on the left.
Tim Buckley with the Daily Memphian. You mentioned this being one of your favorite courses. What is it that you like most about here, and what is it you find most difficult about the layout?
Yeah, it's not just one thing that stands out, but I just like that it's a premium to hit the fairways. You got a good variety of dogleg lefts, dogleg rights, and you have a lot of water. Water always makes things interesting because now it forces the player to play a bit more conservative off the tee. But then when you bail out, there's rough or a fairway bunker that catches the ball, and now you have a very difficult shot going into the greens, especially with this Bermuda, really sticky Bermuda around the greens. So if you land ashore of the green, it just sticks. Or if you hit the green, because the greens are firm and fast, it's going to roll over the green. So it's really difficult to get it close. But it's not super tricked up. Everything is right there in front of you. But yet you have certain angles, a lot of branches and trees that are just in the way to make everything more tricky. And I just think it's a genius golf course. You don't need to have courses that are 8,000 yards long and wide open. Because, yeah, I think just a perfect example is like number 13 at Augusta, for example. They made that course or the hole way longer, and I believe the scoring average was lower than it was before they made the change. So it's like just little subtleties, because I remember when that tee was all the way up, you had branches on the left that was overhanging the tee box, and now you have to hook something around, and if you try to do it, it's easy to clip a tree and you hit it in the water, or you got to re-tee off the tee. So it's just little subtle things like that, and I think this course is a great example of that.
Right up here to Bob.
I know it's not nearly this simple, but is there a simple explanation, or can you give one, a non-technical explanation as to what the difference is to a year ago? Like if you were to try to sum it up in a paragraph, I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I think that's better maybe for another time, but so I don't want to get like super technical with this, but basically my pattern got off. The things that I did in my swing that made me good, that made me able to predict a certain ball flight, I went home and tried to do a certain move, not necessarily because I had in mind that I wanted to change my pattern. I knew my pattern was really good, but I was upset that I wasn't cutting the ball as much as I would have liked. My ball flight started to become a little bit of a draw, which is fine. I was still hitting it good, but sometimes visually I would have liked to seen the cut. And then in the off season, I made a conscious effort to try to cut the ball more. And when I did that, I ruined a relationship that happens in my swing that makes it really difficult for me to control the face coming down. And so now it's just kind of me learning from that. I know exactly why it happened. I know exactly what happens because I've gotten myself measured. And now it's just kind of a process of getting back to where I was. But at least I know I have all the data and the facts on the table to go about it.
Is there a point in time this year when your frustration level peaked? Like, can you point to it, or?
I mean, it feels like it's been a lot of peaks and valleys. I mean, it's just not that fun to play golf when you don't know where the ball's going. And like, I do pride myself in trying to make the best out of it. But it gets to a point where you kind of lose that belief yourself. Like you just see a shot and like that's not good enough. I can try to grind my hardest. I can try to chip in from there. But you do that too often, too many times during the course of a round or a tournament. It's too much to overcome. And I feel like it's a waste of time for me to be playing golf if that's where I'm at. I'd rather be off the golf course and work on it, trying to figure out why I'm doing those things. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes. And I feel like I've learned even more about my golf swing, which I didn't really think I could. So there's always stuff to learn, and I'm super pumped about kind of where I'm headed. Now I'm not sure how long it's going to take for me to play my best golf. It might be this week, it might be next week, but at least now I'm on a path to progress. I'm on a path to improvement. Whereas before, one thing is playing bad, but you don't know why, and you don't know how to fix it. That's very challenging mentally. But at least now I might play terrible this week, but at least I feel like I'm on a path to improvement, and that's all that kind of matters for me.
We got Mitchell right here in the middle.
Hey, Victor. Quite a little change of pace here. Xander and Scotty have both had historic years this year. If you could choose which one to have, which one would you choose and why?
Choose what?
Between Xander and Scotty's year.
Ooh. I mean, 2 majors, that sounds pretty nice to me. Yeah.
Jason over here on the left.
Hey, Victor, did you say that you played 18 yesterday?
I played 6 holes.
Right, but did you play number 18?
Yes, I did.
How did it feel, kind of, did you, I guess I'm looking at, you were talking about 18 being, if not for 18 last year, you might would have won this tournament too.
Easy to say, but yes.
Right. But, you know, did you go into, like, that was the first time you'd seen it since last Sunday of last year. So like, have you come up with a game plan for how to attack it, and what makes it so tough, or what made it so tough last year?
Yeah. I'm obviously a very aggressive player, and I like to hit driver. And the thing with my distance off the tee is that I can try to hit the line that's a little bit more conservative. But if I do, most likely my ball with the driver is going to run into the last bunker, like the farthest bunker out there, which is obviously not an ideal spot. So I'm going to have to take my line a little further left of that bunker. But now, because I don't fly it 310 or 315, if I pull it slightly, it's not going to cover the water on the left. Whereas maybe a Rory or guys that hit it slightly longer than me, they can pull it and be perfectly fine. And now you're actually making that fairway pretty wide. Whereas for me, the driver gets pretty narrow. And I remember the times when I hit in the water last year, I just hit it off the toe. So the ball doesn't stay in the air long enough, and then they just go in the water. But it's also like, I think one of the rounds too, I hit a good shot, and you have a lob wedge or a sandwich in. So it's kind of, you have to balance that. But I think this year I'll probably just hit a 3-wood over to the right. So I'll have a little further in. But I believe I have the biggest margin of error there. I'm just trying to avoid the water and give myself a 9 or an 8 iron, especially if I feel like my irons are coming together a little bit. I think I can still play that hole pretty well.
Last one right here.
Speaking of Xander and Scotty and the guys at the top, you've been near the top coming into these playoffs as well as where you are here this year. If you're at the top section, is it more important to, I guess, conserve some of your energy for the back half, or is getting on a run like you did last year more important, the momentum, no matter where you are?
I think when you're playing at their level right now, you know you're playing great. It's obviously you want to win everything. I mean, that's what you want to do. And you know, Scotty winning 6 times this year, I mean, he probably believes he can win the next 3, you know, so why wouldn't you try to do that? And that goes for everyone, I think. We're all hungry, and I think as soon as you kind of say to yourself that I'm just going to take it a little bit easy, you're going to get run over immediately, because there's so many guys that are going to play amazing. They're going to chip in, they're going to make putts, and they're just hungry to catch you. So I don't think you can let anything up.
Thank you for your time, Victor.
Yep.